Wisdom and patience and guidance in making decisions for this county. Be with us and watch over us all. Help us during this time of year, and especially the people that are traveling. All this we pray in Christ's name. Amen. Amen.
Yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Marge? Yes. Gary T?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Hank?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, Gary, second.
Is that both minutes, both?
No,
sets?
no, it's just the 18th,
the
those
18th?
others are not, that's just a rough draft, just so you
Oh,
can
okay.
kind of see what happened, I didn't have time to type them.
Okay.
Chris,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Gary,
Yeah.
Scott,
Yes.
Marge, Gary T,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
Hank.
Yes.
Okay, everybody got the clerk's report there? Trust that you've, looked that over, reviewed it. If so, I'll entertain a motion to accept the clerk's report.
I'll make a motion.
Dennis made a motion.
Second.
For a second?
Dennis,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Marge, Gary T,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
We mixed up on the treasurer's report. Have any, questions or what have you? If not, entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Make a motion.
Jimmy made the motion. Second. Okay, Al second.
Al,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Marge, Gary T,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Dennis.
Second.
Okay, the first thing I'd like to talk about is, we just went through a congressional audit this summer, and we finally got the results from it. And, I think it did really well. There was only two very minor findings on it. One of which, had to do with the line item, with regard to the water department. And the other was a check that was washed, and Barry, self-reported that. And, other than that, that's about it for our congressional audit, really thorough audit. And so, if anybody has any questions on that? If not, we'll move on. Okay, first up, is appropriation cleanup that Vicky's gonna do with us.
We got transfers for $6,000 from county general prosecuting attorney, deputy, other professional deputy, to county general grants and aids, special legal, or county attorney. That is to be able to pay, Kara. Which there was money in that, so that's just a transfer, and then there's a transfer of $14,194.30 from ARPA courthouse to ARPA contract labor. $110,813.95 and $54,271.54. Transfer from additional motor fuel tax, Arkansas Highway Department other, for $110,813.95 to additional motor fuel tax asphalt, $85,069.02, and to the additional motor fuel tax machinery and equipment, $25,744.93. From additional motor fuel tax culvert and pipe, $54,271.54. To additional motor fuel tax, machinery and equipment other than vehicles, $26,657.92. To additional motor fuel tax, machinery and equipment other than vehicles, $26,657.93. $178,796.85 from road flood 0404 2025, other miscellaneous flood, $178,796.85 to the road flood 0404 2025, contract labor, $48,518, and to the road flood 0404 2025, gravel, dirt, and sand, $130,278.85. Now it's appropriations. $955.69 to the additional motor fuel tax, machinery and equipment. $1,151.95 district court automation, general supplies. $2,757.50 district court automation, computer software support. $375.70, Fulton County Shooting Sports Maintenance and Service Contracts. $800, Fulton County Shooting Sports Telephone and Fax Landline. $96.80, Fulton County Shooting Sports Fire and Extended Coverage. $400, Fulton County Shooting Sports Utility Electricity. $200, Fulton County Shooting Sports Utility Water. $75,000 Fire Protection Sales Tax Ordinance 2002-14, other miscellaneous sales tax. The total appropriations are $81,737.64.
Yes. Yep.
And we'll make an appropriation on that when we get done with all the ordinances tonight. Don't let me forget.
So this total is just, this.
That total is just appropriations.
This
The
doesn't-
above totals are just transferred within the, whatever fund.
Okay, next up would be, tax levy.
That will be ordinance number 2025-13. An ordinance levying real and personal property tax for the county, municipal, and school districts and improvement district taxes for the year 2025 collected in 2026. Whereas Arkansas Code 1414-904 requires the Fulton County Quorum Court at its regular meeting in November or December of each year shall levy the county taxes, municipal taxes, school taxes, and improvement district taxes for the current year. For the county general, 3 meals for real, 3 meals for personal. The library, 1 meal real, 1 meal personal. The road, 2 meals real, 2 meals personal. City of Ash Flat, for the real, 2 meals, for the personal, 2 meals. City of Cherokee Village, for the real, 5 meals, personal, 5 meals. City of Hardy, 2.9 meals for the real, 2.9 meals for the personal. Horseshoe Bend, real, 5 meals, personal, 5 meals. Mammoth Spring, real, 5 meals, personal, 5 meals. Salem, real, 5 meals, personal, 5 meals. Viola, real, 5 meals, personal, 5 meals. School District Highland number 42, for the real, 30 meals, the personal, 30 meals. Mammoth Spring, School District 2, real, 35 meals, personal, 35 meals. Salem, District number 30, real, 31.5 meals, personal, 31.5 meals. Viola, School District 15, real, 40.19 meals for real, and personal, 40.19 meals. Improvement Districts, Cherokee Village, CVSID, 10% of the total assessed benefits of the district. Timber tax, 20 cents per acre. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of the County of Fulton, State of Arkansas, that the taxes and/or assessments hereby are levied and shall be enforced in effect from and after its passage and approval.
Anybody care to make the motion? Anybody care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Gary made the motion.
I'll take it.
Gary seconded. Any
Gary?
discussion on it? Sorry. Okay.
Gary,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Marge,
Yes.
Gary T,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris, Dennis,
Yes.
Al.
Ordinance adopted. And next up is the budget ordinance. Just a couple things here before we get into that. The first one, I'd like to discuss, if there's anybody want to discuss anything, but on this sheet that I passed out. And what that sheet is, we applied for a grant for recycling $6,666.66 grant for the recycling center, but I said that, we wanna bump the 6,000 on there, but actually it's the amount that we, match for the grant, which is $6,666.67. I just wanna bring that to your attention, that's page 17.
Of your budget, go to your new budget.
That's a change there. And, I'd like to circle back on, something that was passed last week with regards to 2 full-time positions. And, so with the full-time positions, it'll, the cost will increase by $8,774.02. But, I've thought about it, and it deserves a lot of thought, anyway, so if we do 2 full-time positions, it's gonna affect 5 people, okay? It's gonna affect Sean Hall, who's cleaning the annex, Tammy Foster, responsible for the federal building, Joanna Defoe, courthouse, and it's gonna negatively affect Ray Hollis and Frank Kish. And if we're gonna do that, I think we need to include the health department as well. And put it all encompassing with the health department. And, or, the complaints were, there's some certain complaints, but it wasn't elevated at my level so that I could take corrective action, okay? And so what I'm asking for is, to reverse that decision and leave alone, because the 2 full-timers, I have to recruit them and I have to supervise them. They work for me, okay? And like I said, this affects 5 people, 6 if we include the health department. And I would ask that y'all hold off on that, if you would. And that's what I have on that. Okay?
Well, we made those decisions last week, and I'm gonna stand by the decisions we made last week.
Yeah, okay. Well, can I get a motion to reverse that decision? Because here's the thing. So what about the health department?
Yeah, we discussed that. They have a nurse that cleans that, and by nature of the content of that stuff that's in the building, drug paraphernalia, et cetera, they can trust that person around that type of contact, so.
Okay, that's very interesting, because I called Sharp County, who cleans your health department. It's an inmate that cleans their health department. I called Izard County, talked to Eric Smith, who cleans your health department. My daughter does. Is there any special qualifications? None. Okay, so there's no special qualifications required to clean the health department.
I get that, they're just comfortable with her, we can be comfortable with her, et cetera.
Okay, I understand that. However, we talked about nepotism last week, you brought that up.
Mhm.
Well, Macaulay Burke is Vicky's niece, okay? So you see if we're gonna be fair.
I don't think that's an issue as many employees that you have in your family and your secretary's family, so let's don't go there.
Well, I think actually it should, because here's the thing. Nepotism isn't a recent phenomenon in the county, okay? Nepotism has been going on for a long time. Okay, I'm not the first one to, and the reason I hired my brother, I went to, 3 BSOs before, and he was the DFW service officer. He'd been a county service officer before. And so if this was a recent phenomenon and all of a sudden we're hiring family members, I would understand your concern, okay? You being a member of the personnel policy, you can change that,
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
And so that I would encourage you to look at that. But in the meantime, if we're gonna affect these other 5 people, we need to do universal, okay? Because here's the thing, the health department is my responsibility, my facility, I'm the custodian of it, same as the courthouse annex. same as the courthouse, same as the federal building, it's no difference. The mowing of it, of the facility, the senior center, the courthouse, the annex, the ball complex, everything falls under my purview, okay? And so, you know, that's my argument, folks, and, you know, I would, in the name of fairness, because these other facilities are gonna be, you know, part of that full-time person's responsibility, I see no reason why the courthouse, the health department shouldn't fall under that.
Again,
Well-
if that's it, guys, I'm not changing my position, but it's,
Yeah,
where he's got.
and I gotta tell you, folks, you know, we're just a microcosm of DC politics, okay? And you know what's wrong with DC politics? Everybody's gotta be right, one side's gotta be right, and the other side's gotta be right, but there's never any compromise. There's no compromise, okay?
Here.
And I'm asking for some compromise, okay?
Well, it is fair. I mean, what he's saying, he's not, I mean, it is fair. I mean, and everybody's got an opinion. I mean, they're just opinions. And I mean, I'm sure that, I mean, I wanna think that my father-in-law is, he's pretty good at what he does.
You know, in fact, Barry, your uncle, cleans, is the groundskeeper, okay, your uncle.
Don't drag me into it.
Well, I mean, you
Don't
have
drag
anything
me
to say
into
on
it.
that?
Well, let's say that we see how
Get in
Ken
there.
Coach, Ken
Don't
Coach,
drag
you've
me
got
into
hard
it.
and Sarah has hard, if you wanna talk about everybody.
Well, but I don't want
But
to
you
talk
don't,
about
I
it.
know you don't.
Well, no, because here's the thing. Nepotism has been part of this county for a long time.
Not as many as you have.
Is the inmate?
How many do I have?
I
County,
don't
clean
know.
after hours.
Well, almost all of us are kin to a lot of people up here.
It's a small county.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get that way, I'm
Well,
just,
for instance, Barry is married to my wife's first cousin, okay? So, you know, we're pretty close. If people here, if we're not, you know, that we might not have any employees.
Well, let's move on.
Please,
So here's the thing, let's,
I personally would like to make the motion on my behalf.
Gary make the motion.
I'll second it, because I voted
I
against it.
really appreciate that, I really do, because I mean, there's gotta
We're
be some
the
type of,
only ones that voted
there's gotta be
against it.
some type of compromise here, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't like the idea of putting these, a full-time position into the budget any more than we already have. Because that's a commitment to somebody, whereas a contract is not quite as much commitment, but doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know that people will change their vote, but I'll second that.
I appreciate that myself.
What is the motion?
The motion is to, right now,
Oh, the
yeah,
health office is included in the janitorial.
yes. I think, well, wait a minute, let's back up. Let's make the motion
Well, the
to
motion
leave
is
it,
just.
leave it as is, okay? Without the two full-time employees.
You already have.
The motion was to rescind the last vote.
Yeah, that's it, rescind the last.
Yeah.
So we got a motion to rescind the part-time contract labor for janitor.
No, to rescind the two full-timers.
Replacing the contract labor.
So,
We're rescinding the one maintenance man and the one janitorial.
We're basically rescinding the two full-timers in favor of one, maintenance man, one groundskeeper, and the contract labor for the cleaning.
So a yes vote, that goes back to the way we were
That's
2
correct.
weeks ago.
Yes,
And no vote would stay the way we did it last week, correct?
yeah.
No, if
No,
you
we
don't
gotta vote
rescind
yea or
it, if
nay.
you don't rescind it, it's gonna stay like you voted last week.
Yeah, so
That's
we're.
what I'm saying. So keep
The
the
motion
motion,
is to rescind. If you vote yes, you say, I want to rescind, I want to go back to the way it was.
If you
Okay.
vote no, it's gonna stay like it was, what you said.
And the
last
thing,
week.
is, folks, those concerns have never brought to my level. Give me a chance to make adjustments as necessary and to improve service, okay?
Okay, Scott,
No.
Marge? Yes. What'd
She said yes.
you say yes, you wanna send it back like it was?
And we're voting to leave it like it was before we voted against all of it the other night.
Yes.
Yes.
I wanna leave it like it was, like we voted
Okay,
on the last
let me
meeting.
start over. Scott is no, Marge is yes. Gary T,
Yes.
No, Virginia.
Jimmy, no. Hank,
No.
Chris,
No.
Dennis,
No.
Al, Gary.
Yes.
Okay.
This is fine.
Since we're talking about personnel, I do got some questions about the budget before we move on to something else. Get time for that.
Well, let's go through the budget, cause we've got some stuff we need to correct.
Gotcha.
And then,
Gotcha.
what's going on with that?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
And then also the fair, we changed it to 9,750, but it's right on the sheet.
Okay.
You wanna
Go.
do it?
Yeah, you.
Okay, the LATC, that's on page 37. The building materials and supplies, that should be $14,119.42. And that makes the total budget $34,119.42.
What's those numbers again? I just found them.
Okay, the building materials and supplies is $14,119.42. And then the total is $34,119.42. Page 42, road flood 04/04/2025. Page 42. Okay, contract labor is 10,000. Culvert and pipe is 10,000. Gravel, dirt, and sand is 22,935.81. Making the total 49,276.76. Reappraisal cost fund, page 53. Okay, the contract labor is $225,113.04. $225,113.04, and then that's your total. Page 63, fire protection sales tax ordinance 2002-14, page 63. $677,500, and then that's your total. $677,500. Page 69. Fulton County Recreational Complex. $135, making the total $4,500.
What's that again, Vicki?
4,000,
45. 45.
yeah, 45.
On the general supplies to the 500 and you want.
135. General supplies is 135, making the total 4,500. And then that's gonna match up to your ordinance that we're about to read.
One of the things that I had some calls about, was the tracks and dump truck. I had some people that did that for a living, that think that that's a bad idea for a road truck. I'm not a dump truck expert or anything, but these guys knew quite a bit about that. Dennis seems to think that's a bad idea. I don't know, that's what it involves. It's a lot of money for a truck, $250,000 or something like that, so.
Well, the good news is, Al, is I've got to, once I identify it, to enter into an agreement, a purchase agreement, y'all have to approve it. Okay, this is the money appropriated, probably the maximum amount, okay? But instead of asking for an appropriation later on, we appropriate it now, but before I pull the trigger on this thing, y'all gotta give me the authorization to enter into a contract.
Well, do we need a truck like that in Fulton County?
Well, we've got, let's see, we've got two of them right now.
Two now?
Yeah. You know, and, so, you know, I'll take a look at those twin screws, Dennis, and see what the difference is and everything like that. But in the meantime, it sure doesn't hurt to budget the money there, so that when we identify it, we can pull the trigger on it. Okay? So we have the truck. I haven't entered into an agreement, I can't, okay, until without y'all, approval, okay?
The trucks that we have right now, that we bought, are they used trucks? Or they used trucks when we bought them?
Those two, Max, they were used when I bought them. They were, because if you remember, we had an accident, what amount? Okay, got the insurance money, and I put a little money onto it, and I think we purchased those two trucks for $125,000 a piece.
Have they been good trucks?
They've been okay, but they have, their half-life is gone, We got that, the thing is, we got that Peterbilt that's, been rebuilt and everything, and was not very long. So, we could use that as a reserve truck and have 7 dump trucks. We only have 6 right now.
Well, I'm gonna have to follow some else and leave it, don't know about that tonight, but I've said, I've had some calls and people are concerned about that. And a couple of us said, you do not leave that time.
Well, and the thing is, I look at it like this, how many tracks and dump trucks that are on our roads, running it, the log trucks and the chicken trucks and the cattle trucks and everything, one more tracks and truck ain't gonna make a whole lot of difference. Okay, and the thing is how much can we load it? There's times where, 18 tons would be a pretty good load, Generally, we're loading 16 tons, okay? But, I'd rather be in a position to be able to load it up and make fewer trips than to load light and make more trips. So,
If you're wanting me to throw my 2 cents worth in, I'll throw it in.
well, Dennis,
The point is,
yeah,
tractors are more expensive.
yeah,
The point is, they're more expensive to license. too thin to, and they're dangerous on the wet road. I used to dump trucks, so I have got some experience. I don't know that our county makes a living hauling about a ton, and we're not hauling hundreds of miles, we're hauling across the county. And you get on these gravel roads in the winter time, with a dry, and they're gonna fall through. I'm just saying. I was more than dark, it wasn't yesterday.
Well, I got that, I appreciate you.
That's why I'm told not to send. Matter of fact, you bought those last two against my judgment, because I told you you didn't need them. I said, you need twisters, just like you got. But you didn't listen to me, you went and talked to somebody on the square or something, I'm sure.
Well, I talked to several people, actually, and matter of fact, you know, I talked to my fellow county judges.
Okay.
And, you know,
Well,
and they use the triaxles.
I've got 10 folks that's Southern Commissioner now, and you won't see one drive, so now can
Okay.
wonder why.
Well, you know,
And they can afford
and the thing is, guys, I'm not, you know, I don't wanna argue with you. If you don't wanna, we'll just take that money out and we won't get a dump truck.
I'm not,
You
I'm
know,
not.
if you
ignorant to the
appropriate the
fact-
money, I'll look at some used dump trucks with that money, okay?
I'm not ignorant to the fact, I know we need to replace the speaker bit dump truck, I know it was over out years ago, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, I think we need to buy what we need. If you get on a 5-year lease program with $250,000 truck, is it yours at the end? At the end of that lease, is it your truck?
Well, you either have a choice, you can pay it off or you can trade it in,
Exactly.
okay? So,
Hasn't these Mack trucks been used for the, they've been working good throughout
back trucks
the years?
they can't haul as much, but they're okay, you know, they're okay.
They're good truck. Mack car. Why, we're in Carroll, we got 57 of them. They're good truck.
But we got the, you know, money programmed in there, and then in January, we'll look at that, okay? But we need some new trucks, at least one newer, whatever the case may be. If the money's there, we can use it, or we don't do nothing, and then next month or the month after that, we can make an appropriation, get a dump truck. Or I'll tell you what, Dennis, you find the dump trucks, and then you pitch it, and then we'll get approval by those dump trucks that you pick out, okay? And then we'll move it that way.
I'm gonna make one more statement, and I'm gonna be quiet. We have a diversity of people on this Quorum Court.
Yes.
They do different things, just why we should be good at what we do. We got business guys, we got construction guys, we got ex-law enforcement, we got farmers. That should be why we bring a lot to the state. All I'm saying is, we do know a little bit about what's going on. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, okay, I got you, okay. I don't think I need to say anything in response, other than understand.
Well, I got a question too, but if we're gonna be looking at some more pages. The salary pays between 40 and 41. That vacant position at the road department, we agreed, I think last week, to go ahead and upgrade that from part-time to full-time. Kansas City had somebody in mind. That's still showing a 3% increase.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, that's not supposed to be there.
Okay, good deal, good deal. And then one other one I had a question about, and we didn't talk about this last week. It would be, I think it's gonna be the salary page around 34, let me find it. Yeah, it's the pay, it's the salary page between 34 and 35, so it's a CVSO.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to why that's a $15.30 starting salary. I mean, Mr. Eaton, our OEM, just started at 11, every other position's 11, except the CDL holders at the road department. So I'm just curious as to why that's $15.30 an hour.
Okay, and I'm very glad that you said that. Okay, because historically speaking, the VSO position has been treated as a special salary position. So in other words, it's kind of like an elected position, you know, when he gets elected, he makes the salary that his predecessor made, okay? Well, the Veteran Service Office, works much the same way because there's special qualifications that take for the veteran service officer. He's gotta get, qualified and recognized by all the veteran service organizations with with the primary of the Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs. And he gets access to VBMS. VBMS stands for Veterans Benefit Management System. That's where you can really see what where the claim is in the process and when it's gonna be done, but you can even tell whose desk it's on, because you need to make a telephone call, okay? Sometimes when a claim gets disapproved, then there's three ways of disputing it, okay, of appeal, all right? There is a higher level review, which you do that, a more experienced adjudicator looks at it, they call you for an informal counsel, and then as a veteran service officer, you're talking on behalf of the veteran to get it, approved, right? If it still gets disapproved, then you can do a supplemental claim, right? Supplemental claim if you have new and compelling evidence. And then you go to the Board of Veterans Appeals, and it's done with a judge, okay? And you represent the veteran. So it takes special qualifications to do that, all right? Now here's the thing. Tom Lemon, previous to me, made the same salary as Ronald Beachy, and he was there was no issue, okay? He made the same salary. And I came along, dropped it $9 an hour, okay?
That's correct, it was in 2019.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so I made $20 an hour. Well, I briefed the Quorum Court every month on it, right? And previous to me being the VSO, the county did 10 claims in a year. It was averaging 10 to 13 claims a year, okay? That first year, I think I did 156 claims, okay? Which is putting substantial monies in the pockets of veterans, in which case veterans spend their money in the community, okay? So it's dollars well spent. We get a return on investment, just won't quit, right? Well, listen, after a year, okay, the Quorum Court fixed it, where I was making the same salary as the previous, right? Well, when I assumed the duties of judge, the veteran service officer that took my place made the same as I made, okay, and vice versa. And so that's why that is.
So what you just explained, it's a clerical position, just like every other clerical position.
No.
And all that money in the pockets of the veterans, then they're tax exempt, and so then it's taking money out of our tax revenue. Sharp County pays, there's $11 and some change an hour.
No, they don't.
I just called him today. And Stone County's got him at 14, he's been there numerous years and got
Okay.
cost of living.
It's not a clerical position.
That's what
Man,
you just described.
no, man, there's so many facets to it. You know how many agencies there are in the VA?
No, that's not my.
Okay, not your cup, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's Veterans Healthcare Agency, to where he is the advocate for the veteran in the healthcare. If they have a problem getting healthcare, getting enrollment, and enrolls in healthcare and all that, right? Then there's a Veteran Benefit Agency, okay? That's where the compensation. Now, with your comment that veterans are costing the county money is terrible. That's a bad comment,
No,
and it disrespects veterans.
what you said.
Number two,
Hang on.
not all veterans get 100%, get the tax exemption, okay? Not all veterans, as a matter of fact, there's about 10% maybe nationwide that gets that, okay?
I was just
That
commenting on
qualifies
what you
for that.
said. You said you got money in the pockets of many veterans, and that's great. When they're tax exempt, then they're not paying taxes in the county though.
Okay,
So I just said it's,
but you know what,
That's all I said.
you're just looking at property taxes, okay?
yeah.
And it used to be 100% everything, well, it's not anymore, okay? They'll change it. But the other things that veterans do with their money, it benefits the county greatly, okay? Matter of fact, if it wouldn't be for veterans moving into Fulton County, man, we'd probably have 200 or 300 veterans, okay? Because there are very few people join the military from Fulton County. Why is that, okay? For one thing, it's not encouraged. For another thing, we're away from a military installation, so people don't know anything about it, okay? And they're scared to death of something that they don't know about. And the third thing is, recruiters don't work this area. Recruiters don't work this area because they don't feel, quite frankly, they don't feel welcome, okay? So that's a problem. But
We're
when you
getting off
go
in the
back to
weeds.
that, so there's a lot to this, okay? And I would tell you that, our our service office was the most improved in the state, okay? In fact, I was helping veterans from Ozark County, from, Oregon County, from Howe County, from Baxter, Izard, Sharp, everywhere, you know, and I looked at it like this.
You're
okay?
county judge now. I got
That's
it.
right. I'm
And he
county
seems
judge.
like a great guy.
However, I still have an interest in taking care of our veterans.
I get that, I'm not questioning that. What I'm questioning is why this was $15 an hour, and it's gone from 9 to 15 in 6 years, and no other position has grown that much. So it didn't seem right to me that
Right.
every other starting position is 11, and this one's 15. That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Is why,
Well, I just.
doesn't seem right to me.
Well, all right, I got it.
So how can we not give them experience grade down there, more money per hour?
Good question. Good
I
question.
thought county had a bylaw that you had to start at X amount of dollars if you went to work for the new office.
Yeah, 13, you're right. But,
Or 11 in the courthouse.
I know, we made it where they can make 13, since I've been here, I know that, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, a new hire has to start at a certain amount, was what I told, I may be wrong.
That's why I'm asking.
That's why he's asking.
well, yeah, but that's kind of an exception of the personnel policy, okay? And I gotta tell you, you know, the Baxter County Service Officer, did you see, you asked how much they pay
No.
him? Yeah, you should do that.
Sharp and stone.
It's about, I think $20.50 an hour.
Yeah, and their elected officials make a lot more, and their
Yeah,
employees make a
right,
lot more.
right.
I was trying to-
Right, but this is,
Compared to Baxter
you know, this is a standard, okay, a precedent, okay, if you will. And I built that office up to what it is, okay? And so to get the best qualified DSO, okay, which we have now, all right, that it should be an issue. It really should be an issue.
Well, it should be all these other employees that started 11.
Well, there's a whole lot different aspect to it, okay? It's not like you do one thing, okay? Well, as a matter of fact, Sarah wears a lot of hats, okay? Okay? But what I'm saying here is,
Well, nobody wears as many hats as the
Well-
clerk's office wears. And
well,
it's
I
fixing
know,
to
but
hire
your
two
girls-
people
your
with
girls-
$11 an hour.
yeah.
And that's gonna be hard to
Yeah,
do.
but you know what, the veteran service officer there's no other position that puts more money, has a bigger economic impact than the veteran service officer. There's no other position in the county that has a bigger economic impact than the veteran service office.
Well, if we're not gonna go by the personnel policy, whenever we get ready to hire somebody, can we just start them out at what we think they should be making, 13, 15?
That's what we're asking.
Yeah, why not?
The bottom line is we gotta stay with personnel policy now, though, and that's.
Or if we got a meeting?
Any other questions?
Well, what are we gonna do with this? Are we just gonna
Hell, I-
just bump or?
My question was, is it a violation of the personnel policy to do that?
You know, I had that argument when I took over, because I thought it was highly unfair for the veteran service officer that I replaced make the same as the one that he replaced, okay? And he made the same that he replaced, okay? And vice versa, okay? And I gotta tell you, nobody in this county helped more veterans than my father did. Now, my dad was a veteran service officer 25 years. Helped World War I, World War II veterans, okay? After my dad was my brother, okay, Danny, 4 years. After my brother was my mother. My mother did it for 4 years, God bless her soul, okay? And then Ronald Beecham took over. He made the same as with my mother. And then Tom Linden made the same as Ronald Beecham. And then I came along, suddenly, $9 an hour, which I did, okay? But I had to build the office up to what it is to get it fixed back right. Then it wasn't no issue. Last year, year before last, we had no issues, okay? And now we got an issue, again. And we shouldn't.
I guess the question is there an exception in the personnel policy? I don't think there is.
There are exceptions. I put that in the personnel
That says
policy.
the
that-
veteran service officer remains.
No, what I said
employed.
was, it has a statement, exceptions to policy must be approved by the Quorum Court. That's what it says. Suppose,
I remember both of them getting drug operators $13 an hour to start with, and then not truck drivers 15 with a CDS.
yes,
But I don't remember making any other exceptions in that.
You can't make an exception unless you approve it.
That's what I'm saying, that's all the exceptions I remember.
okay. Well, I'm asking for an exception for the veteran service officer.
Then we're gonna make an exception for everyone.
Well, no.
That's all- that's
Not,
all.
no, not necessarily, not necessarily.
No, not
Okay,
necessarily.
and quite frankly, folks, you know, we just had a 2.5 hour, Quorum Court meeting last week. Do we want a repeat of that? I sure don't.
No, let's move on, let's see what they wanna do
Yeah,
with
let's
this
go.
and go on.
All right.
Well, we're gonna vote whether or not we're gonna make the exception, I mean,
Have to make a motion.
I think we have to stick with the personnel policy because it's a violation.
well, I agree too. So we either make a motion to do the exception or it's the
All
latter.
right, folks. You do what you can do. But it's a bad decision. Okay? 'Cause I'm about to lose the DSO. But you don't care.
No, sir, we just want things to be right. and
Well, it is
And
right,
be fair,
so.
where it's across the
Okay.
board, and it's in compliance with policy, and it's the same across the board, and not just willy-nilly exceptions.
Yeah, nothing's ever willy-nilly, but okay.
Personnel policy committee, meeting on this.
They met, once they are made once a year. It needs to be revamped totally.
Matter of fact, Scott, why don't you, think about a time to convene the personnel policy committee and close loopholes on a lot of stuff. How about that? Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it. So where do we have to do it, Vicky? What?
You're gonna have to make a motion if you want to change it. If not, then it's gonna be 1530 because that's what's in the budget request. If you wanna change it, then you're gonna have to make a motion to change it.
I think it'll be in compliance with the policy and what everybody else makes, and it's, that's my opinion. I'll make a motion, and if it don't pass, fine, that means everybody else is fine with it at 1530. So I'll make a motion that the pay rate for the CVSO should be in compliance with the policy and procedure manual.
Which would be $11 an hour.
Yeah, that's, I'm highly opposed to it, so,
Who made the second? This is a motion to pay the CVSO at $11 an hour, starting out as a new employee. Now, that's fine, but is he gonna get the 3% raise, because other new employees are getting a 3% raise, so,
Yeah, he's already employed, so
yeah.
I wouldn't.
11 an hour plus the 3%. Scott,
Yes.
Marge, Gary T,
No.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Dennis,
yeah.
Al,
Yes.
Gary,
No.
And so, receive the care of the veterans. All right, let's go on to the next thing. Any other questions there, Scott?
No, sir, that's it.
What about the 250 bonus,
Okay, that's, we'll get next, but let's do this budget ordinance first, okay?
Is that not included in?
No, the bonus is
No,
2025.
Now, I think from the veteran service officer, I think we can leave the money like it is, but we know that they can't, that they're not gonna be making the 1530, or we can change it, whatever. Even though it's appropriated.
What are you and Barry going to do on that?
Well, hate to pass it, then we change it. I mean, if we're gonna change it, we need to be changing it.
And now, let me ask you this question, okay? I like to have a motion to include the health department into with everything else.
We've already
Okay, what do we do?
done that.
What do we do on that?
You wanted to rescind and
Yeah.
put, and make that,
Okay,
make them.
but now we wanna do, what we gonna make a decision? We're gonna keep the health department separate?
Yes,
Yes, we've already,
that's what they voted
Okay.
on.
All right, well, that's certainly not, fair, that's a irregularity, but, okay, let's move on.
Well, let's read the budget, let's read this budget ordinance, and then we will make the correction on the one that's published and the one that's passed, the right amount for the veteran service officer. Is everybody in agreement with that? We're gonna read the ordinance, and everything's good except the veteran service, and then we will make that correction in the morning. Is everyone in agreement with that?
No,
Okay.
I got one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion, we take the money out of there, we got appropriated for the dump truck, the $40,000, the $20,000 range. If you ever decide to buy one, then we can appropriate it. But that's my motion.
Okay, so in the morning, you want us to fix the veteran service salary, and you want the,
I don't remember what page it's on, it's in the road budget. We can always appropriate the money when the time comes.
so we're gonna take some money out of the veteran service, we're gonna fix that in the morning, and then we're gonna take this $40,119.84 and $20,273.14 as the interest, we're taking that out of the road department.
Yeah.
I have a motion for that. Those two things, and then we'll read the ordinance.
Yeah, motion, he made a motion,
Okay.
second.
So what page are you on?
It's on page 40. It's at the very bottom, where it says Mack Trucking Interest. Just give them a minute, I can fix that one real fast. motion and a second to fix the veteran's service salary to be $11.33, I think, per hour for next year, and take the dump truck purchase and interest out of the budget. Scott?
Yes.
Marge? Gary T?
No.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Hank?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Gary Phillips?
No means leave it in, right?
Yes. Okay. Are we ready for these?
Can we pass the ordinance?
No, we've got to read it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
let's read it.
Okay, this will be ordinance number 2025-14. Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Fulton, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance adopting the annual operating budget for calendar year 2026. Section 1, annual budget adopted by reference. The annual budget for calendar year 2026, identified as 2026 annual budget, Fulton County, Arkansas, dated the 16th day of December 2025, is hereby adopted by reference. A copy of said budget shall be filed in the office of the county clerk and shall be available for inspection and copying by any person during normal office hours. Section 2, non-restricted expenditure categories. Expenditure of funds appropriated by this office shall not be restricted to the line item expenditure codes, but shall be restricted to office departmental expenditures. Personnel expenditures shall not exceed the dollar amounts, number of employees, and salary of wage rates specified in the annual budget or an amendment thereto. Section 3, expenditures restricted to specified funds. No expenditure of appropriated funds shall be made from any fund other than the funds specified in this ordinance or amendment thereto. Section 4, transfers. Any transfer of monies between the various funds of the county shall be made only with prior approval of the Fulton County Quorum Court. Provided, however, all transfers budgeted for in the annual budget shall be exempt from the provisions of this section. Maximum appropriated amounts. 1,000 general fund, anticipated revenues is $2,350,000. Anticipated revenue carry over is $1,200,000, making the total fund revenues $3,550,000. Office department and appropriated amounts. County judge, $76,153.97. County and circuit clerk, $168,198.02. Treasurer, $146,355.12. Tax collector, $233,352.30. Assessor, $362,448.10. Board of Equalization, $1,440. Quorum Court, $43,070.62. Election, $89,543. County buildings, $115,686.64. County special project, the well, $1,995. Grants and aids general, $48,416.67. Courtroom maintenance annex, $20,960. County health, $39,180. Ambulance service, $20,000. Sheriff, $307,006.35. Circuit court, $11,190. District court, $112,101.89. Juvenile court, $30,000. Prosecuting attorney and deputy, $18,113.25. Public defender, $10,750. Coroner, $28,437.83. Office of Emergency Management, $38,530.59. Veteran Services, $29,018.82. Extension Office, $33,000. County General Appropriation total, $1,948,917, with the exception of the Veteran Service Officer, and that'll be a change. And so that will be a change to the total. local assistant tribal, anticipated revenues, zero, anticipated revenue carryover, $34,119.42, making the total fund revenues $34,119.42. LATC appropriation total, $34,119.42. Road funds, anticipated revenues are $2.1 million, anticipated carryover, $570,000, making the total fund revenues $2,670,000. County road appropriation, $2,234,300.65. Road fund, 4/4/2025, anticipated revenues are zero, anticipated revenue carryover is $49,276.76, making the total revenues $49,276.76. Road fund appropriation total is $49,276.76. Road runner road, anticipated revenues are zero, anticipated revenue carryover is $37,440, making the total revenues $37,444. Road runner appropriation total $37,444. Treasurer's automation fund, anticipated revenues of $22,000, anticipated revenue carryover is $126,000, making the total fund revenues $148,000. Treasurer's automation appropriation total $22,229.50. Collector's automation fund, anticipated revenues is $32,000, anticipated revenue carryover is $270,000, making the total fund revenues $239,000. Collector's automation appropriation total $45,732.41. Circuit court automation anticipated revenues are $8,000. Anticipated carryover is $15,000, making the total fund revenues $23,000. Circuit court appropriation total $5,596. District court automation anticipated revenues $8,000. Anticipated carryover is $11,000, making the total fund revenues $19,000. District court appropriation total $4,750. Assessor's trust amendment 79 fund, anticipated revenues are $6,000. Anticipated carryover is $50,000, making the total fund revenues $56,000. Assessor's trust fund 79 fund appropriation total $1,000. County clerk cost fund, anticipated revenues $190, anticipated carryovers $308,000, making the total fund revenues $498,000. County clerk cost fund appropriation $175,346.25. County library fund, anticipated revenues $179,000, anticipated carryovers $130,000, making the total fund revenues $309,000. County library appropriation total $233,443.23. Reappraisal cost fund, anticipated revenues $225,113.40. Reappraisal cost fund appropriation total $225,113.40. Drug control fund ordinance 2006, anticipated revenues of $500, anticipated carryovers $21,900, making total revenue funds $22,400. Drug control fund ordinance 2000-6, appropriation total $4,000. Jail operation and maintenance fund, anticipated revenues $160,000, anticipated carryovers $282,000, making the total fund revenues $442,000. Jail operation and maintenance fund appropriation total $100,041. 911 fund, anticipated revenues $210,000, anticipated carryovers $139,000, making the total revenues $349,000. 911 fund appropriation $284,643.13. Law enforcement sales tax, anticipated revenues is $1,400,000, anticipated carryovers of $810,000, making the total fund revenues $2,210,000. Law enforcement sales tax appropriation total $1,464,657.31. Indigent criminal defense fund, anticipated revenues is $11,400. Anticipated carryovers $9,000, making the total fund revenues $20,400. Indigent criminal defense fund appropriation total $10,850. Fire protection sales tax ordinance 02-14, anticipated revenue is $677,500. Fire protection sales tax appropriation total $677,500. County hospital sales tax, anticipated revenues is $677,900. County hospital sales tax appropriation, $677,900. Fulton County shooting range, anticipated revenues is $3,000, anticipated carryovers $280, making the total fund revenues $3,280. Fulton County shooting range appropriation total $2,012. Fulton County recreation complex, anticipated revenues are $4,000, anticipated carryover is $1,000, making the total fund revenues $5,000. Fulton County recreation complex appropriation total $4,500. Juvenile drug court grant fund, anticipated revenue $6,000, juvenile drug court grant fund appropriation total $6,000. Arkansas disaster relief grant fund, anticipated revenue $10,000, Arkansas disaster relief grant fund appropriation $10,000. ANRC water account, anticipated revenues is $385,195.77. ANRC water account appropriation total $385,195.77. Jail sales tax bond paying fund, anticipated revenue is $75,480. Total fund revenues $75,480. Jail sales tax bond paying fund appropriation total $75,480. If any provisions of this ordinance or the application thereof to any person or circumstances are held invalid, such as the validity shall not affect other provisions of application which can be given effect without the invalid provision or application, and to this end, the provisions of this ordinance are to be set forth. The ordinance is necessary for the protection and preservation of public health and safety. An emergency are hereby declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be enforced and shall take effect upon passage and publication. And that's ordinance 2025-14.
Okay, if everybody is, agreement, entertain a motion to accept that's the budget ordinance. I'll make a motion, Dennis second.
Scott,
Yes.
Marge,
Yes.
Gary T,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance. Ordinance passed. All right. Well, we'll talk about this bonus thing. Okay, so Chris asked me last week, well, how much does individuals get, you know? Well, the way that the thing is it costs $307 per employee and $153.71 for part-time. Okay? For a total of $21,112. So, with the 250, just 250, and they'll realize about $190, and part-time will realize, depending on tax, you know, basically, about $105, okay? So it's, $17,250. So, you know, we got the employees at 3%. I advocated for $1,200 across the board, and then, 4%. And, y'all went with 3. Okay, basically, it comes to about $575 a year for each employee, and about $1,300 for elected officials. So it's $3,962 more, and so we gave the fairgrounds $4,050, no questions asked, no stipulations, and immediately passed that for them. Okay, and I'm advocating for all the employees of the county. Christmas is next week. I was hoping to have this money in the pocket for the 1st of December. I'm advocating for the sheriff's department's employees, the courthouse employees, and the road department employees. I don't think it's unreasonable for us to give the employee, make sure the employees get the $250. Well, to get the $250, they need, it's $307, okay, for the county. 2 years ago, prior to Scott being on the Quorum Court, we passed a $350 bonus. No problem, okay? And so, you know, we're at a decision point here, okay? And so basically, you know, we got them a smaller raise than we hoped, than I hoped, okay? And so we're giving them a little bit back. It's not gonna be a residual cost for the county, okay? It's a one-time cost, okay, with the 3%. And I'm thinking that's, you know, that's good. I think that our employees deserve it. And I'd like to think that I'm not the only one to advocate for our employees, okay? And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm advocating for them, I'm fighting for them, and I'm asking for approval of this ordinance.
Well, I think we're all for the employees as well as the taxpayers, and we're giving them $250. I know the taxes won't come out of that, but it's still $192. I mean, that's still a bonus. I mean, I know it's not.
And you know, with our financial situation here, okay? If we can give the fairgrounds, you know, $4,050, no questions asked, where they can hire somebody for $15, $17 an hour, okay? Now, the stipulation should be with the fairgrounds, you know, is $11 an hour. They must hire somebody $11 an hour, same that coincides with county employees. And that money would go a lot further if they paid their help $11 an hour, same as a county employee. Okay, would you agree with that, Jimmy?
Well, possibly. I don't know what they're making. I don't know what they're.
Well, they don't start at $11 an hour. Okay, I don't think so.
We started them out at $12.50 an hour because Frankie Dalton was working on a program, displaced working program. And that's what he got. So we had them or somebody else, we paid them $12.50 an hour. Now then, because they had to do so much more that volunteers always did before, and a lot of times they're there themselves. I have to have people that I can trust. I have to have people that we can't put somebody out there working for $11 an hour that we do not know. The lady that helps with the cleaning gets $18 an hour doing home health. She could pick up some extra home health if she wanted to, but she chose to come and help us on Monday mornings usually, and then she comes in at night sometimes and works an hour or two, whatever we need her to. We pay her $15 an hour. Our maintenance person, she has a job, part-time job. I don't know what she makes. She works at Town and Country. Okay, $15 an hour. She's an assistant manager at Town and Country. She could pick up more hours at Town and Country and probably make a lot more than we've been making out there.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start a DSO out at $11 an hour who's got a master's degree in hospital administration, a bachelor's degree in business administration. And we're gonna start him at $11 an hour. But we're not gonna stipulate to the fairgrounds that they must start employees at $11 an hour.
That's not a county, it's not a county office. So when they go through their money, they're just out of money.
All right. Okay, now, y'all can, I'm just making this point of order, okay? That I'm looking at the fairness here, okay? And I don't feel like it's, fair for county funds to go to where they pay people more than a county employee. Okay, I just, using county funds, That's what I'm saying. Getting back to the bonus, okay, money's not an issue. So if we can afford it, we can sustain it. It's one thing I understand to be tight. I understand what it is to be frugal. There's quite another distinction, okay? And so, you know, that's my thought on it, okay? So of course, actually, you're gonna, I don't know. That's my argument, okay? I think it's a valid argument. Given the fact that next week is Christmas, okay? We give them a measly 3% raise by Clay County got 5% raise, and the county surrounding us, I just don't understand what the apprehension of the, you know, drawback is, other than the fact that you all said $250, okay? There again, you know, I think it's a good move to be flexible, okay, and understanding. Like I said, if nothing else comes out of this, at least the county employees will know who fought for them.
Well, did we make the $250 recommendation initially, or did you?
I did, without thinking that it would be like the $350 we got 2 years ago, okay? Well, Eddie Jones at the Association of Counties put these other costs, and you gotta put this other, and that's what changed the ordinance, okay? And so, we had to take, you know, Social Security and retirement matching and all that stuff added on to it, so it added $57 per employee, so that the employees could realize $250. And you know, I came up with it, you know, it's my idea, and if y'all don't want it, we just scrap the whole thing, okay? And I think really, that's probably the way we need to go.
I don't think that'd be very smart. I think we need to do what we decided to do at the last meeting. Maybe $250.
And then they only realize 192, you know, but it's just a little bit more, Jimmy.
It's better than nothing you just said.
Blame it on the government.
What?
Blame it on the government, then. I don't care. I mean, but.
No, I'm not gonna blame it on the government.
We voted on it.
Yeah, I guess I would blame it on the
I mean,
government.
it's that simple. We voted on a $250 raise.
Yes.
That's bonus.
I'm asking a little bit of an increase for our employees.
If you don't make this look bad, then it's not gonna work, I don't think, 'cause we're working for the taxpayers too, as well as the employees of Quorum
Okay.
County.
All right, so let's just vote on this, the original one. You vote it down, and we do the 250, and the folks get $100 and something.
I got one question.
Yes, sir.
I know I'm a troublemaker, but I'm gonna get labeled. But didn't we pass this thing 2 weeks ago?
Yes. We did.
Yes, but
But what?
there was some changes with the association, you know.
Who made the changes though?
There wasn't
We
changes
did.
made,
There wasn't changes made to what we asked.
Okay, all right, fine.
there was changes made.
What I'm saying is, we passed this 2 weeks ago. It was supposed to total $250. We get this money back tonight, it don't total $250.
Okay.
The point is, you're about compromising and stuff, but you don't do any compromise. And we passed something, and it's like we didn't pass it. Next time you bring it up again, say, hey, we're gonna vote on that. I don't
Well,
get that.
we voted on the decision, okay, but not an ordinance. We didn't vote on an ordinance.
You voted on the ordinance, but you didn't vote on appropriation.
Oh, okay. Well, let's vote on the appropriation. Whatever the case may be, I think, you know, like I said, $3,962 more appropriation is not, unreasonable.
So what ordinance did we vote on? Do we have a number and an amount? We voted on 250 for full-time employees?
No, because he didn't figure it, he figured it this way. The last time y'all voted, you voted on it, you passed an ordinance to give them a raise at the November meeting, but there was no appropriation total.
Okay.
So then you come back last meeting and you there was a motion and it passed that y'all voted to only be out $250.
Oh,
That's what you voted on and it passed.
But we did have something originally that was done up to where they would have had $250 with the social security and retirement taken out, correct?
but that wasn't the motion that we
We
passed.
changed it.
Well, I understand,
Right.
but they did have it in plan to begin with. Just,
So did we vote on an ordinance 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
We did, we didn't all roll
Or
over
there
the
seemed to be some
Yeah,
confusion about
we're
that.
voting on the ordinance on different things, but have we voted on an ordinance? Because if we did, then we would need to change that. We didn't, we
We
didn't.
voted on the ordinance, but no appropriation.
She didn't have the figures as we.
It wasn't me, it wasn't my job.
Yeah, it was an oversight, okay? And, that's unfortunate, because when we passed the ordinance, in my haste to end the meeting, we didn't get the appropriation done. So, I mean, the appropriation would be like $17,250. So, you appropriate that, do the bonuses as they will, versus the, $21,212. Basically, all we gotta do.
And then the last meeting, they voted to only be out $250 and $125.
You didn't have the figures as we did appropriate, because you said you got the figure.
Yeah, you'd have to refigure it, because what was there wasn't what you wanted to do.
It looks like it's good, right here. Okay, 16,000 plus 1,250. 250, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but they voted not to do that last time. This is the one you presented, and they wanted.
No, this is the one I presented. This,
No, this is the one you're presenting tonight.
no, that's the one we presented, because here's the changes.
No,
Okay.
no, this is the one you're
Well, I guess
presenting
we'll
tonight,
kick this
Judge,
can
right
down,
here.
okay.
Look, this is the one, this is the new one, because you're showing that total, then minus that, so they bring home $250.
Yes.
They'll bring home more than $250 because their retirement's not 15.32.
Okay.
But this is what you presented to them the last meeting. And they voted not to do that, they wanted to just be out the $250 and the $125.
Okay.
It's an easy figure, you get 64 full-time employees and 10 part-time employees.
I don't have my calculator on. Let's figure out what it would be.
Well, you're gonna have to have an ordinance
Okay.
topped up. Yeah, this is wrong, and you have to go
So-
down there by each line item.
Then another 2 weeks ago, I said, I was trying to get to it, my Christmas.
Yeah. We'll bring it on that, okay?
So do we need anything else to get that finalized?
Yeah, and the ordinance would have to be prepared. If you want to stick with the $250 and the $125, and that's all the county's out, a new ordinance would have to be prepared, because this is not right.
Yeah. So,
What, do we need a motion to
everybody
do
needs
that?
to, you know,
That's what I made a motion last week for, I thought.
You did, and it passed.
And it passed. Never would have been presented tonight like that.
Well, I tell you what, we can still do something not good for our employees. Governor Sanders made a proclamation today that December 26th, the day after Christmas, will be a holiday for state agencies. So I'm gonna make a motion that we make a state holiday, or it could be closed on the day after Christmas and give our employees an extra day.
well, here's the thing,
That'll be
Scott.
3 days for them,
Okay.
and, make a motion that we're closed on the 26th.
No, we're not gonna do that, because here's the thing, that's my purview, and there's nowhere in the personnel policy that states that we recognize a state holiday or a state proclamation. That's for state employees, that's not for county employees. Now, I'll give you an example. Greene County will be open on Friday the 26th. Van Buren County will be open for business Friday, December 26th, and Friday, January the 2nd.
Sir, 44 of them are closed, I'm holding you right here. 44 of the counties are closed.
Yes, so there's 75 counties in
I
the
know, I
state.
said 44 of them.
Okay.
And we set the hours, yeah, you closed in increment whatever, we set the hours for this building, operation hours. So if we set that day, there's no operational hours, that is us.
Okay, well, here's the thing. We don't exist. The public does not exist for us. We exist for the public. We serve the public, okay? And we need to offer the services when the public's there, when the other counties are working on the 26th, by gosh, we ought to too.
Well,
Okay.
the state's gonna
The
be
second-
closed, so
The
what?
state's gonna be closed, but you know what? Juneteenth. The state's open on that, but we're closed Juneteenth.
Well, I'm advocating
So
for
it's
the
making
employees.
policy.
I'm trying to help all of you
That's in
employees.
policy.
Okay? So,
You just went through there and got the ones that's gonna be open. You don't know about the ones that are gonna be
doesn't
closed.
matter.
So,
But you
no,
know,
it doesn't.
here's the thing.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't matter, because here's the thing.
I second.
It shows that people are open on the 26th and on the 2nd.
This will be a way also to help the employees get a little bit more bonus.
I agree.
Well, it costs the county about $10,000 every time the county closes.
Second.
Okay. And
Can we do that?
what it does is the sheriff's department get, holiday pay, okay? So, I think, I'm the only one who prefer you to close the courthouse.
Well, we set the hours for that day, so I'm gonna make a motion that we don't have any hours that day, you know.
I've got a motion in a second to be closed on December 26th.
That's right, correct.
That's a Friday.
You're not costing the county no money, but in that. Cause we're trying to save money here. Do we not just say that?
We're trying to also show our
We're
employees
also
how
not
much we
gonna be
appreciate
closed.
it.
Because the sheriff's office is not get paid for that pay.
They voted to give them a raise and it didn't happen because it wasn't following the amount for to give the bonuses. Y'all voted to give a bonus.
Yes.
Yes,
250.
yes, that's all they wanted was to cost the county. That the ordinance wasn't prepared that way. Got a motion in a second. Marge, it's going to be closed on December the 26th, the Friday.
Well, I think it would be nice, but I don't think I'm going against everyone if I say yes.
Well, that's the whole deal here, that's your opinion, what you want.
It's what you think, it's not what nobody else thinks.
Yes, yes.
Gary T,
I'm against it.
Jimmy,
Good.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Al, Gary,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
I think the employees will want to have the 26th off and they will have it.
So, I'll make an appropriation for that.
Well, the only problem is they don't get paid more. They get paid for that day not working. But they could've got both, but anyway, all right.
Okay, we need to pass that ordinance for the cleanup. The ordinance 2025-15, this is for the cleanup, and it was in the amount of $81,737.64. I've got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Gary T,
Yes.
Jimmy,
We vote on
this is the ordinance for the cleanup, the 81,000.
The appropriation.
The appropriation.
Yep.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Marge is a.
Oh, Marge.
And is this is an ordinance, right?
Yes, 2025-15.
public comment?
Hey, wait a minute.
Yes, I'd like to,
Oh. Okay. Carol would like to
On
speak.
travel,
Yes, Vicky got a hold of, I think from a clerk listserv, there was a very recent Attorney General opinion that says that the county pays for the office-related expenses and rent, but travel expenses do not fall on the county. But the interesting thing is, some of the clerks from the emails that Vicky showed me are saying that they don't ever even get presented with these invoices, but we're spending like $5,000 a year on that, which I think part of that, we don't have any attorneys locally. But I think the opinion clearly says we don't have to pay it, but for some reason, some counties have been paying it. So I spoke with, because ours is so much, I mean, this is not gonna go over well, so you all need to think, seriously about this before we present this to our public defender office in the 16th district. But I spoke with the guy who runs the office for the 2nd district, and he said that the counties pay it and that he doesn't have it in his budget. I'm sure we're gonna get that response as well. But we're talking about $5,000, whereas some of these counties are not hardly having to pay anything. So I think, and the person who runs the 2nd district shared with me an email from Greg Parrish, who is the executive director of the Arkansas Public Defender Commission. And he said that he expects there to be some conflict over this AG opinion, and those funds are not in his budget, nor does he have the personnel to accommodate those invoices that the PDs should be sending to him. But he said he's still trying to decipher the opinion. I mean, it's pretty clear. I'm happy to share it with you all, but like I said, it's a lot of money, so I think we're gonna get pushback if you all wanna take that position. I don't know if we could maybe talk with them and see if they could make a plan to accommodate that in their budget in the future. The other thing is, that he also sent me what we've been paying. Well, the public defender that's getting the most, and she does a good job, but she lives in Little Rock. So, no wonder we're being charged more. But again, we don't have lawyers here either. So, that's what I found.
What if we're paying it, what if we don't pay it? I mean, we're gonna lose it. I tell you what, I've seen what happens when you throw prisoners to wolves. And I don't care who it is or what they've done, they deserve good counsel, good representation. And, cause I have seen what happens when they don't, and I actually made complaints to the judge about it. The only way that our system of justice can work is if everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And you have to have competent counsel involved for these people out here. And, by and large, they're thugs, but law enforcement do make mistakes too. And we need to be able to have good attorneys. We were fortunate enough to have Joe Nixon, for a while, and he's as good as money can buy. And, he slipped the hide on us several times. I have great respect for him, and I just think that. And I
he was
just
too
think
good
that-
to be our public defender.
Well, we need to get public defenders involved. It's just, I don't wanna end up with someone who just really doesn't care.
well, maybe we can make them aware of this, and they need to be researching and getting with their state officials that next year it may not be funded.
Yeah.
It's gonna take them time out. I mean, you hate to just cut them off here. I mean, cause they called today and want to know if we passed the budget yet.
And like you said, we do have good public defenders here. Tammy Fisher, who runs our public defenders for the 16th district, is wonderful. I don't think we want to get crossways with her, but it is costing us a lot of money, and if you all get to make a decision, if you want to.
When I send them a copy of what we passed, I'll just make a note and say, hey, this is something that we've run across and that they're gonna be thinking about next year, so you might wanna think about it also, so we don't just. And in the meantime, since it's wishy-washy, there may be something cut down on it, or the state's gonna pick it up, or
do feel like if we have to pay it, we should get a say in, is there someone closer that we can hire? If we're paying $5,000, other counties are paying $200, but there may not be, because we're very rural and there's no lawyers here, so.
And this is the kind of thing I think we should be talking about, not in December, but throughout the year.
Well,
And I
this,
think we need to be doing some budget discussion maybe after the primary in April and start looking at the budget instead of waiting.
That's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Because
for
it seems,
various-
well, there are positions and things that we've been discussing here in December about, hey, do we need this or that?
Yeah, I can come more see me about October, but
Yeah.
we can get close to money wise in October, but, I mean, you just shooting in the wind, talking about it in March.
Well, I know, we've talked about the auditor's office several years, and we've got an election coming up. Probably have something to do with what we need to spend on the auditor's office.
Right.
So, we don't need to wait till December to make those kind of plans.
Right.
so this AG opinion just came out October 31st, but what I don't understand is if because the statute that it references, I think, seems to say that we don't have to pay the mileage, so why have the counties been paying it? I have no idea.
They probably don't realize that they
Yeah.
don't have to.
It
It's
seems
just
it's
in their budget.
It's been the precedent, I guess. And some counties weren't getting, from what Vicki shared with me, some counties just weren't getting presented with invoices, so.
Well, I think we've always paid, like, if the treasurer goes to a meeting, we pay their mileage, or the clerk or something, right? We just treated these people as county employees, I guess.
But they're state employees.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we don't get quite the reimbursements
I
we
mean,
used to get
yeah.
either.
No.
Because they're actually dipping in county general. They have, we're used to, they have the, is it the indigent fund? You know, where it had plenty of money in it, and we just paid it out of it, well, the cost has went up, and our revenue hasn't went up for that, and like half the year, we're paying out of general.
But they have to come to juvenile court, they
Right.
have to come to district court, they have to come to circuit court. I mean, they're here, somebody's here.
And if they're coming from Little Rock, that's a lot of money.
Right.
It's partly due to increase in caseload, I think it has a lot to do with it, there's more indigent criminals not.
All right.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Due to, a lot of grandparents and parents having kids in school and ball games and stuff, I was wondering if we might move the Quorum Court meeting to Monday nights at 6:30, a little bit later.
Monday night? Well, the whole thing is, you know, when we have Monday night Quorum Court meetings, there's holidays coming up on Mondays. And I don't know about y'all, but I'd kinda like an undisturbed, day off, okay? Such as President's Day, you know, those days,
I
right?
always just do it the following, if it's a holiday, we don't Tuesday.
Okay.
I mean, Tuesday after that holiday.
That's what they've done
Yeah,
before,
that's what we've always done.
Good.
We used to have them.
I'm all right with that, we'll do
which
that.
will have to do a new ordinance, but.
Okay.
But we've had several Monday night holidays too. When the courthouse closed down.
Y'all need to make a motion to that effect, that we have it on Monday nights, and what time do y'all think, 6:30 or?
Yes.
Because a lot of people start to get here at 6, I mean, would 6:30 be all right with everybody? Talk about it.
Monday would be, I think, the second one, third one, or what, of the month.
Oh, let's keep it the third, because then it doesn't rush us too much to get all the reports and everything.
Well, there are other organizations that meet on Monday night. Was that conflicting with anybody else? I mean, I know the second would conflict with me, the third one.
Yeah, the third is what I always do, yeah. And, at 6:30, would that suit everybody, or? I mean, it's hard for some people, like Chris Corporal here, so.
If it's all in, stay on the phone.
Yeah, right, but,
Yeah, and I have to drive at 12 hours.
yeah.
Okay, so motion to change the meeting to the third Monday at 6:30. If it falls on a holiday, it'll be that following Tuesday.
I'll second.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Hank,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Gary,
Yeah.
Scott,
Yes.
Marge, Gary T.
Yes.
And we'll have an ordinance to that next meeting.
So that means the January meeting will be on the third Monday? Okay.
We don't have an ordinance to that effect, but y'all voted for it, I'm not seeing anything wrong with it. Myself, you good with that?
Yeah, the two was in 25.
So next, in January will be the third Monday, unless that's a holiday. It's a holiday.
That'd be the 19th, and I think that's
Yeah,
Maybe it's a
a
holiday.
holiday other than
so it'll be Tuesday.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Okay, so next Tuesday. So it'll be on the following Tuesday, it'll be that Tuesday of January.
February President's Day too.
Then we'll get back on track.
There's the voice.
We usually have it on a Tuesday anyway, so that's
Yeah, difference. It's been on Tuesday for a while, but.
Any public comment?
On the bonus, when will they be getting that?
They're not.
It's not, they voted for it, Ted, okay.
Do what?
Andrew, you got your day off, what you voted for.
You got the day off, you get the day off.
Yeah, we voted for the bonus. But we're going to do our fix
I'll veto it.
We voted to go back on the law.
That's the reason they wanted to get
The
that.
second was $192.
They said they was gonna get the other for shit.
And what we're getting, and then it adds up to $250.
Yeah, that's what we found.
They can pass that because we don't have an ordinance stating how much it is in the appropriation. There's not one.
Well, they should have.
Well, we don't.
Okay, let's move on, here is, they have 2 hours. Is there any public comment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I was here last year asking for your ordinance. It was wrote up, it was read, second reading got voted down. We still have dog problems in this county. You guys, all I hear is money that you are spending, but you're broke. How about some ordinances for dogs, septics for people who build and didn't get their septics? Start charging people, get in their pocket. I don't wanna pay, but get in their pocket and get some extra money. Instead of sitting up here and discussing not having money to give the employees $250, hello? Would you work for $9?
I have a lot of time, man.
Oh, I work for $7.
Most of them aren't now.
I work for $1 too.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I started at 36 cents an hour. But start doing some ordinances, instead of just ordinances for money. How about starting on some ordinances, clean up the county? Are you proud of where you live? Have you drove around? Junk sitting everywhere. The dump is in Fulton County. Do we get any money from them? They're tearing up 289. Is that a county road? No? But anyway, it's in Fulton County. The dog pound is in Fulton County. You guys need to get together and start in on some of this stuff. You got people coming in here from all over the place. Yeah, I'm not from here. But I've been here 23 years. And I have fought for dogs in my neighborhood. And I don't live on 10 acres, I live on a half an acre. It was a beautiful place when we bought it. It's a dump now. So, my suggestion for the Quorum Court is you guys start getting together and coming up with something that puts the more money in the pockets of Fulton County. And part of that is ordinances
that get in people's pockets. That's what I've got to say.
Okay, thank you.
Real quick, I need to ask a question, because I have some people that were asking me about the bonus, some in my office, some not, and they were kind of counting on that. We are not getting, or I wasn't getting it anyway, but they are not getting the bonus because the ordinance that was presented was not what was passed, correct?
So do we need to make a motion to that effect,
We already made it.
I mean, that's what we voted on before. I mean, that's what we voted on.
But it was
What
for
I
200,
would recommend
but it was
is,
for 250 straight across, and what was
And that wasn't presented to them.
Right,
That's
that
what
was
they
not
asked for, it
presented.
wasn't presented, so they're not,
passed.
so no.
Okay, I just wanted to make
So
sure.
what we need to do, Donnie, make a motion to that effect, I thought I
We
did
don't
that.
have an ordinance in play to pass, Jenny, we have to have an ordinance.
The ordinance that was given was for,
So my comment on that would be, if you don't have an ordinance to pass the bonus to give to these employees, how can you pass an ordinance to change the day of the meeting without an ordinance? You can't change one if you can't change the other without an ordinance, right?
the ordinance that was presented was not for what they had passed.
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying. They passed for 250, that's all the county would be out. The ordinance that the judge gave them was for the
well, it's
250
we can pass an ordinance, we can pass the ordinance that I have.
plus the county paid the taxes,
That's not the
correct?
one that they want, so, you know.
So how come it isn't the one that we voted on, how come they couldn't present it tonight like it was supposed to?
Well, you know, Jimmy, because, it just wasn't.
Why
It just
can't,
wasn't.
why can't the ordinance be ready for next month? Why can't they
So-
get the bonus in January?
So what is that saying? If you don't want it, you don't have it, or what? I mean, I just
No,
want.
what it's saying is, with the included, parts that the county must give along with the bonus comes to $307.
I know, but
But y'all want the 197, which, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a difference, but because we're into, blocking everything that I propose, you know, we're right here, it's,
well, I mean,
position.
okay, the bottom line,
It is
county
sad. It's very
employees, the
sad.
bottom line is if the ordinance has been presented the way we voted on it last week, it will be passed tonight.
Yeah,
And we'll give the bonus.
yeah.
Okay, they just want the county to know that.
Yeah, just let the county know that, you know, it's just, I presented it and proposed it, we've been talking about it since, you know, November, same as the raises, oh, we got the two proposals, hey, can we have one side-by-side comparison? Yes, oh, no, we need the complete budget, so we go there, so here we are, and that's that, and I'm ready to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Wait, why can't the employees get their bonus in January? I don't understand this. Why can't the ordinance be ready for next month, next meeting? It doesn't have to be just a holiday, at least the employees would know that they're getting their 192 or the 100 and whatever it is for their bonus.
For those of you that don't understand, I'm gonna try to explain it. We have tried twice to pass this.
Oh, I know. No, I know. I've been here.
And it comes back and it's not what we passed.
Right. But what I'm saying is that the next meeting, the ordinance should be drawn up correctly and presented and passed.
And they get their money.
And then they get their money January as soon as that ordinance passes. Why can't that happen?
It's up to me, they'd already had it.
Well, true.
Yeah, they should already have it. Yeah, that's what I want.
Very good, okay. Point taken. Gotta get a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I will have the Veteran Service Officer here for your next meeting to explain his qualifications and credentials.